Simply put, giving one's life for the country is the greatest sign of patriotism, since all men will and must die. Does it matter when? When the British regulars were under attack from the Zulus in the Battle of Iswandalhar, did they surrender simply because their commanders had erred? No. They took their dead comrades' munitions, used their bodies as shield, and kept fighting in the name of God, King, and country. When the Earl of Lucan ordered his men to charge in the Crimean War, did they say no? Nah, they charged into that maw, swords and guns held high, men and beast as one.
Quite the fable there, eh? Almost like your Arthurian works.
And what else would it be? Men and horses have been molded together in war for centuries.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Hey, okay, Owen, that's enough right there. We'll get to that in a second.
Yes, we will.
Alright, so, I think you had an interesting point there about war, brave cavalry charges, fighting against Zulu tribes, the Boers and whatnot. Now, Owen, do you concur with Lord Tennyson's view?
Well, I will say this. I once believed that a man's sense of duty to their country was all in war and fighting and whatnot. I was not drafted into the army, no, I enlisted when my country needed me. They did not take me kicking and screaming.
Yes, and how about that war?
War? Oh. Sorry, very sorry. War is something very different for those who actually experienced it, Lord Tennyson. Now, war is something else. War is living in stinking trenches filled with sludge, to live in filth and disease until the great call of battle. Oh, what a farce, yes. They go charging headlong, bombs bursting around you with that barbed wire maw. Machine guns fire all around you, gas. Your friend since boyhood days cut down like that, in a puddle of mud, blood, and bone. No real rhyme or reason to it, just luck of the draw, they say.
Yeah, and, well, I must say, sir, that is,
And then, what do you have waiting for you once you've reached those trenches? Oh, I'll tell you. Fat trenches filled with crowds, men wearing gas masks like some creatures from Mars, waiting to counter you with, not gun, but bayonets, or sometimes just a board with a nail in it. Yes. And all for what? Eh? What's it all for? Thousands, not millions of young men dead. All for some couple miles of mud and muck. More young men in hell's waiting room.
and, what happens to one sense of duty to their country?
Well, let me put it this way. Why should it be duty to one's country when your country throws you away?
I say!
Hold it,
Yeah.
Mr. Owen.
Yes, indeed. Now, I say one who belongs to their country is all well and fine. But to say that one should die and not question their country and its motives for that death, it's nothing but a farce. It's not sweet and fitting to die for one's country, especially when it throws you away like so much garbage.
Yes, now, Lord Tennyson, your closing objections?
'Tis not theirs to question why, it's theirs to do and die. It does not matter how deplorable the conditions are on the battlefield. You must fight on. It is your duty. Your death may not hold glory, but your duty does in charging into that maw. You've ensured that your country's honor is maintained. That mud and muck can never take that away. And furthermore, if you were to desert, then what kind of a sign would that be to the others? You would have men leaving in droves, retreating into that night like worms. What would that say?
Alright, very interesting. Now, Owen, your closing objection.
I will say, Mr. Tennyson, such glowing descriptions of honor and glory, very interesting.
Yes, and?
Yes. The only honor I've ever seen in war was not in the trenches, but in the hospitals I visited in France, where both allies and enemies were treated as equals. It was not in the battlefield where men's lives were thrown away due to the incompetence of their commanders. No. It was not in the trenches where men died of typhoid and Lyme disease, all preventable diseases, mind you, because their commanders forced them into that mud. No. And all for what? Oh, only to bankrupt the countries they fought for and that participated in that war, to make England lose her empire, her colonies that she fought so bravely for. Yes, there was no glory in that fighting. It was a suicide.
Powerful words, Mr. Owen. Powerful words. Well, I must thank you too for your participation on tonight's show, and we've all greatly enjoyed it, and so have our ratings. Stop it.